Hi, welcome to Big Daddy Bakes. I'm Big Daddy, and today we're going to be making Hefezopf. It is a German traditional bread that is slightly sweet, and it's made for special occasions. So I'm going to show you how to do it today, and it's very, very easy, and it's very good. So let's get to it, and I'll show you how to do it. For this recipe, you will need 1 egg at room temperature, 7 grams of yeast, which is 1 packet, 250 milliliters of milk, and this should be lukewarm, less than 150 degrees, 500 grams of flour, 60 grams of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 80 grams of butter, and this needs to be at room temperature, and 3 tablespoons of sliced almonds, which will go on top of the bread right before it's baked. To start this recipe, we're going to take our milk and put it in the bowl of the mixer. And I temped my milk, and it was about 105 degrees. You don't want it above 110 if you can help it, because it will kill the yeast. And then I'm going to put in my packet of yeast. And I'm going to stir it. And I'm going to let this sit for about 10 minutes, and then I'll come back and we'll continue on with the recipe. Okay, our yeast has had time to activate. I can actually see some foaming on the top. I'm going to crack the egg, put that in. And I'm going to whisk that in really well. Then I'm going to put in the flour. The sugar. I'm going to break up the butter into little pieces. Put that in. Alright, and then I'm going to turn this on and let it mix for just a moment. Try to combine that a little bit. Then I'm going to add my salt. Now I'm going to let this knead for about 7 to 10 minutes. And you'll need to just kind of keep an eye on it. If it looks like it's really sticky, you might need to add a tiny bit more flour. But other than that, just let it go for 7 to 10 minutes. Okay, this is what we want in our bread. We want it to be silky smooth and very elastic. So I'm going to gather it into a ball like that. Then I'm going to turn it over and put it into a bowl that I've sprayed with some oil. And I'm going to let this rise for an hour to an hour and a half. You want it to be double in bulk. So if you have a measured bowl like this, it makes it very easy to do double in bulk. You just press it down and you make a note of where it was, and when it gets up to that next level, you know it's double in volume. So I'll be back in about an hour. Okay, so our dough has risen. It's double in bulk of what it was. I'm going to pull that out. And I'm going to divide this into 3. And they're roughly the same, more or less. Alright, so I'm going to put these 2 over here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to roll this out. To kind of a long snake. And then repeat for the others. Alright, now the last one. Alright, so we've got our 3 snakes, and we're going to braid them. So braiding is really easy. It's over and then over. So it's always the outside over each time through. And then we're going to seal that. And then I'm going to put it on my pan. I'm going to let this rise for another 45 minutes to an hour till it's nice and double in bulk again. And then we will bake it. So I'll be back in another hour. Alright, so our loaf has risen. It's double in volume. So what I'm going to do is I've taken an egg and beaten it very thoroughly. And then I'm going to just go over all of the bread with it. This is going to do 2 things. First, it's going to glaze the bread and make it have a really beautiful color. Will come out golden and shiny. And then the second thing is it's going to be glue to glue the almonds on. So I've put it on fairly thick. And then I'm going to sprinkle the almonds over the top. Now avoid getting those directly into the sheet pan. If they fall off, go ahead and pick them up because they will burn and they will not smell nice. We'll put a few more over here. Alright, so I think this looks good. So I'm going to bake it in a 350 oven for about 30 minutes. So here is our bread once it's out of the oven, and let me tell you, it is beautiful. And the smell is just heavenly, what it does to your kitchen. I would wait until this is completely cool before cutting into it, just so it kind of firms up on the inside a little bit. Thank you for joining me here on Big Daddy Bakes. If you like what we do on the channel, please consider subscribing. Also, share with a friend. Thank you so much.